67 wins. He also established a franchise win total in his first year.
Davis with the bucket.
This is some kind of performance we're seeing from him today. He is yet to miss a shot.
Warriors trail by 4. Livingston kicks to Green. And Davis sends it back. And now here comes Cole, leading the break. And then Cunningham with the dunk.
Such a strong finisher on the fast break.
And, Greg, I love the fact he's always in control. Even though he's going at breakneck speed, he still maintains his body control.
And our old partner, Steve Kerr, also got a chance to coach the West All-Stars in Greg, his record-setting debut season with the Golden State Warriors. Clark, he really hit a lot of big milestones early.
Well, none of us are surprised at his success. No. I mean, Steve will be the first to tell you it was because he was surrounded by excellent assistants. I mean, that's one of the underrated aspects of being a good coach is you've got to have a good staff, and Steve has that.
Excellent point. Here is Livingston. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. And Spates gets it to go.
It's almost as if both teams are in a zone.
Well, offensively at least, partner. I mean, neither team's done jack diddly on deep.
The offense coming free and easy as we wrap up the first quarter. Pelicans lead by 9. And don't go away. We'll be back with the action for the start of the second quarter in just a moment. Steph Curry, a player within the gym range, he told us about his comfort stretching the floor.
Anywhere 5-6 feet outside that three-point line, if I have a dribble, if I...
I was going to say, Greg, how big must that hoop look to Steph Curry? And tough to guard might be the understatement of the day.
I mean, he is just an insanely great shooter. I mean, arguably, I don't think there's argument. He's the best shooter in the world. The argument is whether or not he's the best shooter ever. And listen, I can imagine there's very few times that Coach Curry is not going to allow this splash brother to let her rip.
Well, not exactly a close game so far, but as the second quarter starts here, plenty of time for a comeback. And a closer look here at the scoring breakdown for the Pelicans.
You know what, guys? It looks to me like they're really in sync here, all on the same page. They've already got a bunch of assists.
And that's what's created a rhythm for them offensively. That's also why you see them knocking down that mid-range jump shot.
On the court right now, second quarter for the Pelicans. Evans and Gordon are the guard set. Omer Ashik is out there with Anderson. And it's Babbitt in at the 3 spot.
And remember Klay Thompson's father, Michael Thompson, a former #1 pick out of Minnesota. Growing up, he was the smallest of his brothers and thereby took his lumps when they played hoops. But he said that challenge helped him to develop into the player he is today.
And Klay Thompson, born into an athletic family. His father, the former #1 overall pick in the NBA draft. And Clark, his mom, was a Division I volleyball player.
And, you know, Thompson, despite those genes, was not a highly recruited player out of high school. Grew up in UCLA's backyard, but ended up playing college ball at Washington State.
He hits both from the stripe.
Before getting dinged up, Ryan Anderson was rolling. I mean, over the first few seasons of his career, improved in efficiency in all areas. Then he had the back injury, and last season his shooting percentages really went south.
A shot by Thompson, and no one's around. Again, the miss by Thompson.
Boy, with an open look like that, he is so gifted. Man, you've got to play better defense. Eventually, he's going to make you pay.
Yeah, you can see he's still in rhythm, even though he misses that one almost always deadly when he's that open.
Off the screen, a nice shot by Anderson. And getting back to Ryan Anderson, in 2012, he won the NBA's Most Improved Player Award. Then, in the summer of that year, he landed an enormous contract in a sign and trade.
Yeah, and that's the good Ryan Anderson. If he can stay healthy, he's a tremendous asset, and he's just a shooter. He can get it done on the backboard as well.
Now a timeout called by Golden State.
Yeah, you can see they gave up a lot of points here in this run, and he just wants to break the momentum before this thing gets out of hand.
And, you know, that's a huge part of the coach's job, making sure you keep your guys in the best position possible at all times. So I like this timeout.
Catching up on the changes for New Orleans. Alexis Ajinça has checked in for Ashi. Davis comes in for Anderson. And it's Pondexter in for Luke Babbitt. Ajinça dishes to Davis. In the corner, it's Gordon. Pass to Pondexter. Here's Davis. And he takes that one up and powers it through.
And they seem to have gotten something out of almost every possession. Their defense has been just as good, just a tremendous performance all the way around.
Yeah, and they're doing it in hostile territory, too. I mean, don't forget about that part of it, which makes it even more impressive.
And with room like that off the pick, you have got to knock that one down.
Well, you know, they did everything right, Greg. They executed. All you want is a good look at the basket. Sometimes the shots just don't fall.
Here's Ajinça. The basket good off the assist from Evans. Ajinça's got his first 2 points of the night.
Oh, they are putting the hammer down. A huge lead right now.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter if we're talking about their offense or their defense. I mean, it's all been good.
Over to the wing. Knocks it loose. Here's Pondexter. He's covered by Iguodala. Here's Davis. Another one falls for New Orleans.
No doubt about the consistency when it comes to scoring the basketball for him tonight. A real nice lift for their offense. And how about Anthony Davis? He grew 7 inches in one summer back in high school. You know, people forget he was committed to go to Cleveland State to play point guard out of high school. But then because of that growth, ends up signing at Kentucky, and the rest is history. So, I mean, you look at that 215-pound frame his rookie season, now up over 240, and that's enabled him to dominate the game even more. And I think it'll also help him improve his health.
Spates checked in for Golden State. Green comes in for Andre Iguodala. And the Pelicans also making a change. Holiday's checked in. The drive by Green. And it goes as the official calls the foul. Count it. He'll shoot one more at the free throw line.
How about the way he's able to angle his body to shield the big fella off and still get the finish?
You've got to be clever with your sleight of hand when you get inside and try to finish against the bigger guys. And he made it look easy that time.
There's a screen. It's stolen by Curry. Pelicans pull it in.
That's not the type of opportunity he fails to convert very often.
And Davis admitted he might have stayed another season at Kentucky if he'd known how NBA players would go at him physically in his rookie season.
Yeah, they look to punish him, but he's been on the weight he needs to hold his ground now. He doesn't want to get too much bigger, though. Quickness is such a huge part of his game. Doesn't want to lose that.
And the Warriors making a change here. Barbosa's checked in. Pelicans shooting their third free throw attempt of the game. And that one falls for Davis.
Well, whether you call him the brow or ant or the future, Anthony Davis made the leap in year 3 to franchise superstar. I mean, still, though, he remains humble, determined to improve, and dedicated to maximizing his immense potential.
Holiday with it. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. Davis against Green. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Ajinça tries from 10, and he drops that one in. 24 points for Davis. And his former coach, Monty Williams, played with some greats. Tim Duncan, David Robinson, Patrick Ewing. He says he sees that same desire to dominate in Anthony Davis.
Yeah, he wants to be great and doesn't see himself as a finished product, which is a good thing. That means he's going to continue to stay humble and hungry and put the work in.
Just a positive force right now for these guys. And though his team has fallen a bit short, it's not because of him.
And Holiday kicks to Davis. And it's Evans in the corner, stolen by Barbosa. And here we go. Fast break. Curry's got it. That's good from Barnes on the assist by Curry. Curry's got his 7th assist in the game.
And it's coming easy for them right now. 5 baskets in a row in the paint.
And I say, hey, if it keeps working, go to it. Stay with it. I mean, until the defense responds and provides more resistance, keep making them pay.
Barnes passes to Curry. Holiday inside, and it goes at the buzzer!
Digging deep to hit that shot. That shows some serious guts right there.
Oh, man.
No explanation, no excuses, no...
So as we conclude
the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here again with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. And an exciting time of the year as the first game. It was a big-time first quarter from Anthony Davis. He ended up with 24 points, 4 rebounds, and 1 block. And that'll wrap up our halftime show, the third quarter.
As we begin the second half, first half wasn't even close, guys, and we'll see if there is a comeback on our hands or more of the same as we get the third quarter started. You look at Anthony Davis in this game, he's been everywhere.
Yeah, he's played just a smart game overall offensively, looking for and finding the gaps in the defense, and also terrific shot selection.
Greg, that's exactly what we're talking about when we talk about being efficient as an offensive player. Fully on display there with him.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade for the second half of basketball. So for the Golden State Warriors right now, on the wing, Thompson and Iguodala. The defensive stalwarts, Green and Bogut, are down low. And it's Curry in at the point. Here's Thompson. The shot's good on the assist by Iguodala. Thompson's got the first basket of the second half. That one for the Warriors. Pelicans leading by 17. The Pelicans last season, a very solid team rebounding, too. Top to bottom, the team they would rebound as a team.
And one of the metrics that I do like, they led the league in contested rebounds. I mean, that speaks to the effort that this team competed with. And winning those 50-50 rebounds means more than just collecting any old miss.
The Warriors have gone 1 of 3 since starting the second half.
Warriors call it time.
Timeout called the Warriors. Well, last year the Pelicans were a team on the rise, making the playoffs. A solid season overall, especially on the road. Really, they sent notice by what they did away from New Orleans.
Yeah, I mean, 17 road wins. I mean, you say to yourself, well, that doesn't sound great. But when you're a young, up-and-coming team, one of the things that you can really value is your ability to go into hostile environments and have success. They're going to be building on that confidence.
Alexis Ajinça has checked in for the Pelicans. Cunningham comes in for Quincy Pondexter. Cunningham kicks to Davis. Out of bounds, Golden State takes possession. And let's get this update now from Doris Burke, who's across the way on the sideline.
Thanks, guys. I got a chance to hear what Steve Kerr was saying to the team. He told the team he wanted their offense to run through Green. The coach is looking for big things from him throughout the rest of this game on the offensive end. A lot of the scoring burden will fall on him. Well, they need to make something happen before the start of the fourth quarter, and maybe those changes will do the trick, Kevin.
And thank you for that, Doris. Out of bounds, Golden State takes possession.
As for the Pelicans on the road, I mean, they had the fewest road wins of all the West playoff teams. The franchise hasn't had a winning road record since 2009 when they were the Hornets.
Sean Livingston, he's checked in for Steph Curry. Livingston dishes to Bogut.
Last year's Warriors and where they ranked in the NBA. A chance to check that out now, Kevin. Tops in scoring. First in assists. And they also were #1 in team shooting percentage. A very impressive offensive group.
And when you score like these guys did last season, it gives you tremendous confidence. Just play solid defense, and you can win games.
Pass to Davis from 12 feet out. Yes, and a nice assist from Evans. That's now 26 points for Davis.
And for the Pelicans and their road struggles last season, they are a younger team. It's a team built around a young superstar in Anthony Davis. So taking road lumps is just kind of part of that growing process.
That's good.
That makes 3 in a row to start the second half.
Warriors trail by 19. Livingston kicks to Green. Three-pointer. It falls for his 7th bucket of the contest. He's 7 for 9.
Boy, I tell you what, he loves getting looks like that from the three-point line. No one near him. That's a warm-up jumper for him.
And when you look at Draymond Green, he's not a guy who will wow you with his numbers or his athleticism, Clark. He brings a lot of intangibles, though. And I remember talking early in his career with Tom Izzo up at Michigan State saying those exact things, that he gives you so much more than just what you see.
And his current coach and our former partner, Steve Kerr, raves about it. He's the heart and soul of the Warriors, in Steve's words.
And first time out of the game called for New Orleans.
You know, you talk about Green's enthusiasm for the game. He's constantly talking, whether defensively or even in an opponent's ear. He's a vocal presence. And also another example of how a guy can make an impact without necessarily having it show up in the stat sheet.
Looking who's out there now for the Pelicans. Anderson, he's checked in for Alexis Ajinça. G comes in for Cunningham. And it's Drew Holiday in for Tyreke Evans. And Holiday kicks to Davis. 6 to shoot. A stupendous finish in traffic. Davis has got 30 points.
And also, don't discount his leadership. Draymond Green's been a vocal leader his entire career. Even as a rookie, he wasn't afraid to challenge his teammates. And that competitive spirit, guys, can be contagious.
In the third quarter with just over 3.5 minutes off the clock. Outside Holiday. He dishes it to Anderson. To the inside. It's stolen by Bogut. Here is Livingston. Looking for his first basket still in this one. Open shot, Thompson. And it's good. Assisting on the play was Livingston.
Well, nothing was going down for him in the first half. But since the break, he's been on target.
Puts up the baby hook. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2. When you think about Shaun Livingston, you think about the career that might have been an absolute rising star after being taken Clark 4th back in the 2004 draft.
Kevin, he was averaging over 5 assists a game as a teenager, and his shot was improving every year. Then the devastating knee injury. Just great to see him back playing basketball.
Looking at who's out there now for the Warriors. Spates checked in for Bogut. Harrison Barnes comes in for Andre Iguodala. And it's Barbosa in for Shaun Livingston. Shot clock at 6. Thompson from long range. 4 for 9 from the floor with that miss. Gordon with it. Picked up by Thompson. Gordon kicks to G. Lets it go from deep. And that one's good. G's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball.
And getting back to Livingston, he's had comeback after comeback. I mean, each time he'd start to flash those unbelievable movement skills, he'd get injured again. It's a shame because he was on the path to becoming one of the game's great young point guards. And the shots just continue to say no in terms of falling.
Holiday against Thompson. Dishes it to Davis. Puts it up from 12. Another one falls for New Orleans.
4 of their last 5 makes came off of a high-quality shot inside.
Textbook. Really, when you look at how they're playing, they are having their way down low. No issues on that one. Good work all around.
Now here is Holiday.
Gordon.
Passes it to G. It's good. The assist that time from Holiday. G's got 5 now.
Nice dime drop there from Holiday. Excellent awareness.
And at the end of the third quarter, a huge lead in this one may already have been decided. Welcome back. Fourth quarter action starting up in what has been a one-sided show. New Orleans leading by 21, so the Pelican 5 right now. Luke Babbitt is out there with Anderson. Then it's Alonzo G. Then it's Holiday, and it's Ajinça in at the center, locking down the middle. G passes to Ajinça. There's the dish to Babbitt. Just 3 to shoot. Another one falls for New Orleans. The Warriors shooting it up around 51%. They're getting good looks. Spates sets a screen. Here's Curry with the 3. It's rebounded by New Orleans. This game is finished. They'll be off to Portland taking on the Trailblazers. That'll be the second of this 2-game road trip.
And that's the kind of lead pass we've come to expect from him.
Fourth quarter just getting started. 1 minute in the books. Iguodala, no good. New Orleans has gotten off 4 shots from 3-point range tonight, nearly every one of them.
Well, that fast break went according to plan.
Yeah, nice job there, Greg. Recognizing the opportunity was there to push it, and then excellent execution.
And let's get your take, guys, on the scoring breakdown for the Pelicans.
Fantastic passing. We saw it in the first half, and it's carried over here in the second.
They've really been on fire from beyond the arc tonight, too. I mean, a lot of their points have come from out there.
Catching up on the changes for Golden State. Festus Ezeli, he's checked in for Bogut. McAdoo comes in for Maurice Spates. And it's Livingston in for Thompson. And the jam by Ajinça.
This is crazy. Every shot they're taking right now is finding the mark.
Literally every shot, partner. I mean, they just aren't missing.
Here's Curry. And again, it's the Warriors missing. And it's the Pelicans' ball. Good momentum, 8 straight points. Curry against Holiday. There's the pick. Here's Ajinça, and he finishes it off with a one-handed jam.
And that's such solid, fundamental basketball on display right there, guys.
You talk about it all the time, Greg. Yeah, great use of the pick to set up the dunk.
And, guys, it was a terrific understanding between teammates that made that possible. They really did read each other well there.
Not watching the line there. That'll be a backcourt violation.
And, you know, for so long, the NBA has had 12-minute quarters. In last year's preseason, they began experimenting with the 10-minute quarters. Players seem to like it, but it would be a huge change philosophically in terms of how the game is played.
Catching up on the changes for New Orleans. Dante Cunningham's checked in for Anderson. Pondexter comes in for Alonzo G. And Cole subbed in for Drew Holiday.
Explosive leaping ability.
Oh, that was pretty. And he just has that effortless knack for getting inside.
And guys, how about how fearsome he is at times? I mean, you'd hate to be the guy tasked with guarding him.
Curry's open.
Now here's Curry. Defense right on him. Ezeli. And count the basket. He is fouled, and he's going to the line for one more. And Clark, with the 10-minute quarters, the players felt like they were fresher during the game. Still, removing 8 minutes from an NBA game does have huge consequences.
Well, we must remember it's being experimented with right now, so keep that in mind. They also talked about shortening the preseason and doing other things to keep players fresher during the year. I like the thought process.
The Warriors making a switch here. Barbosa's checked in.
Well, with the season the Warriors put together, they came out way ahead of everybody else in the West. I mean, given how tough the West was last year, that makes their 67-win season all the more impressive. One of the best in history in my mind.
They set the pick. And a little luck that time, but it drops.
You know, the defense has got to do a much better job of fighting over those screens.
And, Greg, especially when the ball is in his hands. I mean, come on now. You know he doesn't miss too many open looks like that.
Warriors took apart the West last season. They went 42-10 against the rest of the conference. The games between them and second place and the West were the same as the games between second place and 8th in the West.
And the Warriors didn't just pick on the little guys. I mean, they had big wins over the top teams in the West. Against the rest of the playoff teams, the Warriors were a whopping 20-5. And looking a lot better now, but still a long way to go to get back into this one.
Well, I like the fact that we can still see a flicker of a flame burning. They haven't given up or given in. They've picked it up at both ends and right now on a nice run.
Well, last season, Quincy Pondexter was moved to the Pelicans. He really took off after the trade and played some of his best basketball today.
Free throw good, Pondexter. Dexter last year was very valuable after the trade. Career highs, Clark, in points and minutes played for him and with the Pels.
Yeah, and you know, he showed he can really be a 3 and D guy. Shot over 40% from deep with the Pelicans and defended pretty much every position on the perimeter.
Now a timeout called by Golden State.
And just way too early to tell how this year's group of rookies will turn out. But just from an early look, they seem to be a group that can contribute. Definitely not going to be a class with a small impact on the league.
G's checked in for the Pelicans. Barbosa against Evans. Barbosa gets the bucket. With the 2015 draft class, the big thing is how many guys are polished coming into the NBA. It's a good blend of raw talent and certainly skill.
Yeah, I like the way you said that. This class will always be headlined by the two big men, but there's a lot of value throughout the rest of the draft, too.
Shots good. And 11 points for G.
I tell you what, I don't know what he did in the locker room, but he needs to do a little bit more of it because he's on fire.
Barbosa dishes to Azili. Here is Livingston. They set the pick. Down low. And he takes it in for the layup off a very nice feed.
And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout, a dominating performance for the Pelicans.
And they could do no wrong today, Steve. That's right. This was a team performing to its Clark fullest capability.
Yeah, and a very satisfying win for him, too. A game to remember, and on the other side, definitely one you want to forget as soon as possible.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year.
And once it becomes official, this win gives them a nice confidence boost against this team. They'll face them twice more this season.
The stats tell us, Greg, that the winner of the first game is a big favorite to come out on top in the overall series.
And you have to look back at this and see the huge game it was for Anthony Davis. Just an outpouring of points from him. Nobody could do much to keep him from dropping it in. Just look at how quickly the lead has grown here over the last few possessions.
Clear case here, partner, of saving their best for last. Quite a run.
There's a 4-second difference from the shot clock to the game clock. Cole takes it into the teeth of the D and converts the layup.
And this is going to be a fantastic result for them. No win on the road comes easy.
Not in the NBA, they don't. And trust me, they're going to take a little extra pleasure in this win, having silenced an entire building of hostile fans.
Evans against Barbosa. And here is Barnes. From downtown. So we see the Pelicans taking the W here. A resounding victory for them. And Greg, in enemy territory, no less.
That's exactly right. But with the way they controlled the game and just completely took the crowd out of it, that's how to get it done on the road.
And now...
Well, Tyreek, a very confident game for this basketball team. What made it all come together tonight?
We were just outstanding from the jump ball.
The 2K Sports post-game show.
Now let's move on to the presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, Anthony Davis. Just a monster first quarter of the game. He came out hot and just never cooled down. That boost he gave his team early on, and that's it for our broadcast here tonight. But we're just getting started on a new season in the NBA. For Shaquille O'Neal.
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Greetings, everyone. Glad to have you here with us on this Wednesday night edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony with Doris Burke on our sideline. The Trailblazers will look to their home court advantage, just one game here in Portland. And going against New Orleans, their first meeting of the year, they were able to sweep the season series last year, completely controlling the play in each game.
And they were able to take the season series in that matchup last year, but overall, two teams that were very similar in the standings.
Yeah, they were able to make the plays to come. It really could have gone either way, and you could say the same for tonight's game.
Now, the opening lineup for the New Orleans Pelicans. Tyreek Evans out there with Holiday. Then it's Alexis Ajinça. Then there's Davis, and it's G in at the small forward position.
And with the way the Warriors went on a rampage last year, you knew that Alvin Gentry would be in demand. Was the architect behind the Warriors' offense, is one of the best offensive minds in our league.
Now, here's Lillard. Puts it up from 17. The shot is good off the backboard.
And they get the first bucket.
And they'll hope that sets the tone at the offensive end going forward. It doesn't always work out that way, but better to start fast than not.
Here's Evans. Lets it go. First shot, first basket. He's out of the blocks fast.
Evans getting it done with that sweet stroke.
Last game in New Orleans, they picked up the win against the Warriors in Oakland.
And how about the accuracy that was on display from three-point range in that game? They were lethal.
Yeah, splashing those threes as they did really allowed them to continuously deflate that crowd and keep them at bay. Boy, that was a nice road win for them, no doubt.
From the baseline. Got a hand on it. And a fast break now for the Pelicans. And it is flushed down with a nice jam.
I like the fact that he led his teammate right to the ideal spot. You don't always throw it to your teammate. You throw it to where he needs to be.
Lillard outside. Came in a screen. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Kamen's got his first points in this one.
I can't believe defenders are not aware. They cannot allow him that position.
Yeah, you're right about that, Greg. He's put a no trespassing allowed on that spot of the floor. It's all his.
Now here's Evans. New Orleans moving the ball around. Let's go. Another one falls for New Orleans.
And early on, they looked great. They've made all four of their shots to start this game.
Doris Burke has some information for us. Doris?
Well, a moment ago, Terry Stotts and I were able to chat. Going into this game and scouting the opposition, he told me he's a huge fan of Drew Holiday, saying, you know, Drew's still a guy with so much potential. You just don't see that many point guards with his kind of frame. 6'4", close to 2 bills, and a great skill set to match. He's a guy you love to watch, but you often hate to go up against. Kevin, we'll see if he can have a big impact in this one.
All right, Doris. Free throw good, Ajinça. Trailblazers trail by 5. Seems every season, Clark, you hear the same thing. Portland Trailblazers had to deal with some tough injuries.
Kevin, it appears as though it might actually be a curse. I don't like to use that word, but the history of this team and injuries is as unique as any in the league. Last year, no different.
And with the Blazers and injuries, even when they fought through pain, guys weren't at 100%. Aldridge wasn't quite the same with his hand injury.
And losing Matthews for the season was huge too, guys. I mean, every team goes through injury woes and bumps during the course of a season, but the Blazers just seem to be, at least in the last half dozen years or so, hit very hard every year. Tell you what, man, it looks as though the light is officially gone on for Ed Davis. I mean, he drifted around a bit over his first 5 seasons, but he made real strides last year.
And Davis puts it in.
It is so hard to contain him. He just seems to get it done however he has to do it.
And Lillard kicks to Aminu. Back to Lillard. To the paint. Stolen by Evans. Holiday, the pass to Agency. Here's G. Lillard with the block. Here's Henderson. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. And a fast break now for the Pelicans. Slammed in by Holiday.
And how about a little bit of showmanship there as he increases the lead?
Oh, I like that. That's got to be, though, a tough pill for the defense to swallow.
Well, he's a guy that you know can hurt you with his passing, and right there, he does some damage with his finishing, too.
Here's Henderson, following the score by New Orleans. Back to Davis. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. Going back to Ed Davis, his rebounds, field goal percentage were way up last year. He's finally developed the strength to anchor inside, and, Greg, the skill set to convert the scoring opportunities as well.
And Kevin, you can see his confidence growing. He just needs to keep at it to reach his full potential.
Here's what Portland's going with right now. Plumlee comes in for Chris Kaman, and it's C.J. McCollum in for Al-Farouq Aminu. Here's Cole. The tray. That's good. Cole's got his first 3 points of the game.
They're allowing a sky-high field goal percentage. That won't get it.
Not at all, Clark. You rarely see a team surrender points this easily. They have got to do better.
So timeout call here, the first for Portland. New Orleans is still a relatively young team, but they play with the maturity, I think, Clark, that's beyond their years.
You know, Kevin, the average age for them last year was just over 25 years old, and the youngest team in the West, actually, to make it to the playoffs last year.
And Portland making a change here. Conley's checked in. Now here's McCollum. Nice open look, but it's no good.
The defense there got away with a major lapse.
Cunningham gets the bucket. Cunningham's got his first 2 points.
And for the Pelicans, part of why they look so mature is how they protect leads. I mean, rarely giving away points for free and knowing how to close out games.
Outside, Gordon. Anderson outside. Stolen by Henderson. And now Portland on the break. The rebound by Anderson.
That is some tough defense there against one of the better finishers in our game.
And, you know, guys, the Pelicans only lost 5 games last year where they led going into the fourth quarter. They won 38 when entering the fourth quarter with the lead. That's very mature basketball for a team that's as young as they are.
And so it's New Orleans with it after the Trailblazers pick up 2. Cole's shot is good.
Already seizing control of this game.
Total control, Greg, and as well as they're playing at both ends, I look for this lead to get even larger.
Now here's Lillard with some arc. The rebound by Anderson.
And although not a block officially, it might as well have been his ability to react and alter the shot.
Greg, I don't think there was any doubt about it. His defense threw him off on that shot.
And another 3 for New Orleans.
And it's like raining buckets right now. I wonder if this is the early stages of a blowout.
Well, we got to be careful. Don't want to get ahead of ourselves just yet. But it has been pretty ugly so far, no doubt about that.
And as the first quarter wraps up, already a double-digit lead. And welcome Welcome back. It's been all one-sided so far through the first quarter as our second quarter gets underway. And the Pelicans have been rolling right along, haven't they?
I just like the way they're getting out in the open floor, taking advantage of all those fast break chances here early on.
I agree with you, Greg. I mean, they can run, and they've done a good job filling the lanes in transition.
On the court right now, second quarter for the Pelicans. Luke Babbitt is out there with Davis. Then there's Tyreek Evans. Then it's Holiday, and it's Ajinça in at the 5, roaming the paint. McCollum kicks to Lillard. Scores for only the second time tonight. Now 2 for 6 from the field. Pelicans leading by 14.
And guys, what I like about Damian Lillard, very decisive with the ball in his hands, always in attack mode. He keeps it hopping, and he has a killer instinct in the clutch.
Feeds it to Davis. Just 5 on the clock. The basket good off the assist from Evans. Davis has got his second bucket.
You know, there's no better sign of how efficiently a team is operating than their assist numbers. And theirs are fantastic.
Just beautiful when they play the game like this.
Lillard attacking, and it's Lillard again missing. And for Lillard, he keeps the ball moving, as Greg was talking about, and Clarkie keeps his teammates involved.
Very proficient in the pick and roll, understands the nuances of looking at weak side defenders and getting to the free throw lane for the roll man. He knows all the tricks to make that pick and roll really successful.
Damian Lillard is a 2-time All-Star. He just keeps getting better and better, and I love his demeanor on the floor. He seems a lot older than he really is.
Yeah, he's got an old head, and he's got a very even-keeled disposition about him, which serves him well. He almost missed the All-Star game last season and was an injury replacement.
And first time out of the game called for New Orleans.
And for Lillard, that motivation. Remember, he got cut from Team USA a couple summers ago in favor of Derrick Rose and Kyrie Irving, and Lillard calls it wood on the fire. Those things keep him focused and also hungry.
Catching up on the changes for New Orleans. G comes in for Luke Babbitt, and Gordon subbed in for Tyreek Evans. It's tipped. Here's Davis. Goes right through for bucket number 3. He's a perfect 3 for 3 to start.
And remember, Lillard, the former Rookie of the Year, he's had his snubs, but also he's gotten some recognition. Even playing in the Pacific Northwest, he's got his own signature shoe now, and his star definitely on the rise.
Those are the kind of nice inside looks they've gotten in the first half here.
And I think they should continue to work the ball down low, Clark. It's really going to free up their outside shooting.
And, fellas, in this quarter, he's improved on what was already a very good performance in period number 1.
Davis sets a screen. Lillard attacking. Trailblazers keep it alive. And it's Davis with the jam.
And, Kevin, the knack for the offensive rebound are a big part of what makes this guy special.
Not to mention, Greg, his ability to finish with strength, just like that.
Yeah, he's an invaluable asset for them to have. No question about it.
And Davis sends it back. And the officials now calling the shooting foul. He got a lot of ball on the block, but also got the body, so some free throws coming up right now. And an important part of every team's game, a look at the hustle stats for the Pelicans.
Great hustle defensively through the first half, contesting everything and racking up the block shots.
Something else they've done right so far from the get-go tonight is run. I mean, so much of their offense has come off the fast break.
Chris Kamen's checked in for the Trailblazers.
And for the past few seasons, Portland's bench has really been their Achilles heel. I mean, last year they showed some improvement. The reserves play stole the game for them on more than one occasion, but still wouldn't be considered a scrim.
And the official signaled the backcourt violation. Not very careful there. And for those of you just joining us, we're in the second quarter with about 3 minutes gone by. Kaman a screen. McCollum dishes to Lillard. Fires from deep. That's good. Lillard's got 7 now in this quarter.
Yeah, field goal percentage above 50 now. Their offense is starting to show.
And, you know, that's a really good sign. I mean, they stumbled out of the gate, but they're starting to look a little better now and regaining some ground.
Trailblazers trail by 12. From past the arc. Passes it to McCollum. 6 on the shot clock. No good. Now New Orleans will take it the other way. At one point, they led by 16. And Al-Farouq Aminu gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul.
You know what? Tried to step in and cut him off, but just didn't get there quick enough.
Yeah, he was one step late that time, Greg.
Here's what Portland's going with right now. Mason Plumlee's checked in for Davis, and it's Henderson for C.J. McCollum. And then for New Orleans, Omer Ashe. He's checked in for Alexis Ajinça. Cunningham comes in for G, and it's Norris Cole in for Drew Holiday.
The offense has a better flow, and it actually looks better here in the second quarter.
It does. They're playing with a little bit more bounce in their step and trying to close this gap.
And Lillard kicks to Kaman. Nice spin off the left rim and in. Kaman's got it back down to single digits for the Trailblazers. New Orleans has gone 3 of 3 from three-point land here tonight. Mason Plumlee will really put it on your tough, hard-nosed player. Has the size, the bang, and the athleticism, GA, to run the court.
And it's interesting, Kevin. His game translated better as a professional than maybe as a collegiate. I mean, he's a guy that's a lunch pail kind of player. Rolls up his sleeves, focuses in, and willing to do the dirty work.
Excellent point about the comparison college to pro. I think you're right on.
And, you know, back to Plumlee, he showed steady improvement last season, improved statistically in just about every category over his rookie year. He could become a little less mechanical with his postgame. I think he could even go higher.
Luke Cabot, he's checked in for Cunningham.
Checking in for the Pelicans, Luke Cabot.
1:21 left to play here in the half. Here's Cole. Henderson defending.
And that's how you make a steal count. Turn it into a quick slam at the other end.
It was really a case, it looked like Greg Anthony right there, if I can say so. It was really a case of a great defensive play triggering some instant offense.
Yeah, I remember GA as an irritant. And this guy, much like Greg, creating havoc out there.
You know, one thing about Plumlee, going back, he's been a tremendous rebounder. He can shoot over 60% from the field for you. However, he was a terrible free throw shooter last season, under 50%, which caused at least a couple teams to employ a little hack-a-Mason strategy.
Lillard, the pass to Vonleh. To the middle, here's Plumlee, and he stuffs it. What a pass to set him up.
Tell you what, Kevin, they'd love to see him get a lot more of those opportunities.
Clark, that deficit will go away quickly if he does.
And how about how he capped that one out, almost like the 1-2 punch.
Here's Evans, and another 3 for New Orleans.
Those are starting to add up. Of their last 5 baskets, 3 of them have been three-pointers.
And clearly it's about how poorly the defense has played. They've got to close out faster.
Now, here's Lillard. He's got 9. That will count. And the release was before the buzzer, but it's off target. And we finished one half of basketball. Pelicans lead by 15. From Portland, we're back in a moment.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, everybody. Ernie Johnson here alongside Kenny Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Will be taking things were going New Orleans' way from the beginning. They blasted through the opening period like a tornado at one. And that's going to do it for now as the second half is just about to get.
Welcome back, everyone, to the start of the second half. Big margin on our hands, but we'll see if that gap narrows down in the third and fourth quarters.
Well, Davis had a great quarter. He's got 11 points, and he has 1 steal to his credit as well.
And Clark, he's just done a great job defensively. That 1 steal doesn't tell the whole story.
Last year, the Pelicans, Greg, pushed their way into the postseason. It was a neck-and-neck battle for that number 8 spot, as you recall, with the Oklahoma City Thunder.
How about the excitement down the stretch? They were able to edge out the Thunder and Russell Westbrook on that just point binge down the stretch there. And what a final day that was. A big, huge win over the Spurs let them get into the postseason for the first time under the Pelican moniker.
They've got Al-Farouq Aminu. Chris Kaman out there with Davis. Then it's Damian Lillard, and it's Henderson in at the shooting guard position. So that's who Terry Stotts starts the second half with. Got a piece of it. And now it's Evans running. They can go all the way.
Another bucket added to the lead. They've been the better team in every facet.
And in my opinion, you get extra bonus points, extra eye of the beholder points when you do it the way they're doing it on the road. That's special.
Henderson dishes to Lillard. 5 on the clock. The Trailblazers need to get off a shot. Again, the miss by the Trailblazers.
And as you said, I mean, New Orleans made the playoffs for the first time under the name Pelicans. Unfortunately for them, they ran into the Warriors in the first round and were promptly swept away.
Davis sets a screen. And Aminu kicks to Davis. An easy layup after coming off the pick. Davis has got 8 points.
Finally, they get one to drop. That's one of their first 4 here in the third. And thinking back to the Pelicans playoffs from last year, let a 20-point lead slip away in that fourth quarter of Game 3. But they played better than a sweep and got valuable postseason experience for that young roster.
Evans with it. Al-Farouq Aminu covering. Evans kicks to Davis. Shoots from the elbow. Another one falls for New Orleans.
That makes 3 in a row to start the second half.
Trailblazers trail by 21. Now a timeout called by Portland. You look at what Anthony Davis has accomplished so far in his career. The historic comparisons. I mean, they're mind-boggling. For a kid 23, Greg, the historic comparisons are very favorable for him.
I mean, he's been compared to a young KG and Duncan quite often. But in this first few seasons, his numbers look the most similar to Hakeem the Dream. And that's about as good a company as you can get.
Let's catch up with Doris from the sideline.
Well, over the break, I listened in on what Terry Stotts had to say in his huddle. Offensively, he wants them to work the ball around. He stressed the need to find good shots, not quick shots. Well, they need to make something happen before the start of the fourth quarter, and maybe those changes will do the trick, Kevin.
Thank you, Doris.
Well, I'd have to say Lillard is one of the game's best passers right now.
New Orleans leading by 18. Evans kicks to Davis. Yes, and a nice assist from Evans. Evans has got assist number 5 here tonight.
4 of their last 5 makes came off of a high-quality shot inside.
Textbook. Really, when you look at how they're playing, they are having their way down low.
Pass to Aminu. Portland moving the ball around. Here's Henderson. The shot no good. So the Pelicans will take it the other way. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Damian Lillard. That is his first foul of the game.
Man, it's close, but, didn't get on balance quick enough.
Yeah, and as quick as players are at this level, in this day and age, I mean, you've got to be perfect in your anticipation to draw the charge.
McCollum's checked in for Al-Farouq Aminu. And a change for the Pelicans. Cunningham's checked in, and he gets the bucket.
And that's sort of been the story here today, hasn't it?
Trailblazers have gone 3 of 7 on field goal attempts here in the second half. Just under 3.5 minutes played here in the third quarter. That's a 2 from Lillard. It's rebounded by New Orleans.
You almost have to assume he's going to knock those down when he is that open.
They're getting on a roll inside. Their last 3 field goals have come from inside the paint area.
There's got to be a wall of defense when it comes to attacking the paint. Plain and simple.
As magical as the 2014 playoffs were for the Blazers, remember they beat Houston in that first round, that great shot by Lillard late to win it and move on. 2015, not as much. Greg, they drew a very tough Memphis team, as you recall, in the first round.
Yeah, you often talk about styles making fights. Very similar in this series. They would go on to drop the first 3 games before being bounced, but still a good showing to a team that struggled mightily down the stretch with injuries.
New Orleans leading by 22. Evans outside. He kicks it to Cunningham. There's the triple. Yes, and a nice assist from Evans. Evans has got his 7th assist of the game with that last one.
And, you know, just as you said, Portland didn't have enough to get by the Grizzlies in the first round. Ended up losing in 5 after taking 1 game, and that was game 4. Just had a hard time breaking down the Memphis defense.
A different look now for Portland. Plumlee comes in for Chris Kaman. And it's Noah Vonleh in for Davis. And then for New Orleans, Anderson, he's checked in for Alexis Ajinça. Gordon comes in for Drew Holiday. And Cole subbed in for Tyreek Evans. And stolen by Vonleh. 55 seconds left in the third quarter. Here's McCollum. And he banks in the layup. McCollum's got 4 points this quarter.
Another loss for the Blazers when they were the 4 seed, as you mentioned. As a franchise, they have lost in the first round every time they have ended up as the 4 seed. Not exactly a good position for them to be in.
And Lillard kicks to McCollum. Vonleh setting the pick for McCollum. Pass to Vonleh. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. The Trailblazers shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game.
And as a team, excellent a season ago, about 80% when they got to the line.
You know, success at the line just became contagious for them. A few guys got on a roll, and it carried over to the rest of the team.
Al-Farouq Aminu, he's checked in for C.J. McCollum. New Orleans also making some changes. Omer Asher, he's checked in for Davis. And it's Luke Babbitt in for Dante Cunningham. Babbitt, good.
An open jump shot there, and their D not putting up any resistance today.
Lillard outside. Henderson, no one around him. He got it up that time, but it wouldn't fall for him. The 3 quarters of play all in the books, and this one all but over already. Pelicans ahead, running away with it. And we're coming back in just a moment. Get ready for the 4th quarter of action when we return. Welcome back as we get ready to start the 4th quarter. Not exactly a nail-biter here, but you never know. Unable to get the ball in bounds. They get called for the 5-second violation.
And one priority for the commissioner this year was how the schedule worked. There were complaints about too many back-to-back games, and it was something everybody wanted to improve upon.
They set the screen. Lillard, the pass to Leonard. Can't get it to go. And it's the Pelicans taking it the other way. Setting the 4 now for the Pelicans. Gordon out there with Norris Cole. Then there's Anderson. Then it's Luke Babbitt. And it's Asik in at the 5.
Excellent work there in transition.
Yeah, I think it's always better to go early in transition, to attack when it's there, because oftentimes you can beat the defense down the floor.
Greg, as you said, the NBA schedule was something that needed change. Players were getting worn out with all the back-to-back games, Clark. It's you've been through it and you know firsthand.
And it's not just the back-to-back games, Kevin. It's the 4 games in 5 nights or the 7 in 10 days. The league office knows the NBA is at their best when teams are rested. And kudos to the league for doing something about it.
Pass to Cole. And the whistle blows in the backcourt violation. He went over and back.
Yeah, but in the first half, he was just purely flawless as a ball securer. But that certainly hasn't been the case here in the second half.
A different look now for Portland. Maurice Harkless is checked in for Aminu. Miller comes in for Gerald Henderson. And Tim Frazier subbed in for Lillard. Cunningham, he's checked in for New Orleans. G comes in for Eric Gordon. And for Portland, they're shooting 48% from the field. Not bad at all. There's a screen. Harkless with it. That one a little long.
Almost no chance of that shot going in.
Yeah, there were a lot of other places he could have gone with the basketball instead of forcing that shot up.
Here's G, covered by Miller. G kicks to Cole. Just 5 to shoot. And it's New Orleans scoring again.
Another pass put right into the shooter's pocket, right in the shooting pocket for a terrific assist. They've done a lot of that today.
And it's something we haven't seen much of at the opposite end of the floor.
And it's G finishing it off.
And chalk up a few more points for him there. This has been a one-sided game in just about every area.
Absolutely. I echo that sentiment. Their offense, their defense, I mean, it's all been terrific.
And in today's NBA, it's all about spacing on offense. It used to be more about finding matchups to exploit. Now it is all about opening up great looks by spreading the floor.
The Trailblazers making a switch here. McCollum's checked in. Now here's Frazier, guarded closer. Here we go, one-on-one. Here's Babbitt, and there's the foul. It's on Tim Frazier. That's his first foul.
I mean, that's a tough break for the D. I mean, he took the hit and drew the whistle.
Yeah, but he was late to get there, Greg, so the referee couldn't give him a free pass on that one.
A little over 2.5 minutes have passed here in the fourth quarter. New Orleans moving it around. Babbitt kicks to Ashik with his first shot attempt. Jump shot is good that time. And with great spacing in the NBA, you need great shooting. More than ever, shooting and spacing, Clark, are at a premium in the NBA for teams.
Yeah, well, it starts with point guards being able to break down defenses and get into the lane to create open shots. You want to be able to create space for the point guards to drive, so you need shooters on the wings.
There's the pick. Looking to end the drought. The shot by Harkless, no good.
Really tough for this group right now, trying anything to stop the run.
And no matter what they've tried, it hasn't worked. I think they've just got to slow it down, idle it back, and get back to the basics.
Stolen by McCollum. We've played just over 3.5 minutes now in the fourth quarter. And he gets it to go.
If you're waiting for him to miss when he's that open, you're going to be in for a long wait.
Here's Cole. It's rebounded by Leonard. Clark, they've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a little bit of cottonmouth here. Dry spell for sure.
The shot by Harkless, no good. For New Orleans, they've gotten 7 of their 8 shots to fall here in the fourth. A tremendous offensive outburst. Ashik against Leonard, and then Ashik with the dunk.
Make it 2 hands for safety. That's what they say, right, Kevin?
Yeah, that's right. You got it. And he was ultra safe with that dunk.
No reason not to be.
And guys, as he should be. Remove all doubt on that attack.
Frazier kicks to Harkless. And here's McCollum. Dishes it to Harkless. Clock at 6. Leonard the pass to Frazier. Shot on the wing. That's good, and it's Leonard with the assist.
Yes, and with this one winding down, it's obvious to everyone who watched it. Just a total mismatch and a true show of strength for the Pelicans.
Agreed, Steve, and as one-sided as it gets today. You know, Clark, there were some dominant moments in about every facet of this game for that team.
You're right, Kevin. It's hard to think of anything that didn't go right for them. I mean, game planning by the coaches, execution by the players, everything was spot on.
And so with this, they'll end up with their second win on the year.
They can chalk this one up, but these two teams will see plenty more of one another before the season's over.
And, Greg, we know familiarity breeds contempt. I would expect things to become more heated as these teams face each other going forward.
And what a huge standout performance it was for Anthony Davis. He was doing everything right, and the points came in bunches. Definitely had the hot hand.
And what do you guys think so far about the offensive approach for the Pelicans?
Anytime you get as many points in the paint as they have, you know you've got a good thing going, and you just want to keep it going.
And also, how about the points they've gotten in transition or on the fast break tonight? That's been a huge factor as well.
Anderson outside for 3. Gordon, and again, New Orleans with the triple.
That one will seal the deal there. They've exploded here at the end.
Boy, I love the serious killer instinct they've shown. Finishing strong.
McCollum, no good. Shot clock and game clock separated by less than 6 seconds. And that's going to be a turnover. They call him for 8 seconds. So it's Portland now. Frazier dishes to McCollum. Fires at the elbow. Misses off the right iron. Here's Cole. The shot. It falls.
And you can hear the disappointment in the crowd tonight. But we saw a team that was just ready to do battle in this arena. They clearly wanted this road game.
Crystal clearly. They came in here determined to steal this game, Greg. Their effort level, I thought, was outstanding, and they just...
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Thank you, Kevin. And now let's move on to the presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, Anthony Davis.
I can't imagine a player having a better night from the field than he had tonight. His shooting percentage was off the charts. He used every trick in the book to get those high.
And folks, that'll wrap it up for tonight. We hope you enjoyed the game. For Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith, Kevin Harlan, and the entire 2K Sports crew, I'm Ernie Johnson. Have a good evening.
The 2K Sports pregame show.
We've got basketball action from New Orleans, Louisiana, home of the Pelicans, here on 2K Sports. Looking at the last game for the Orlando Magic, it was a win against the Bulls in Chicago, and that was a close call. They pulled it out with a win and just 2 points at that, but it wasn't easy.
And facing an opponent that they really weren't expected to beat. I was really happy to see that they showed no intimidation at all.
Greg, as a player, think about it. How often did you look at what the odds makers said? All you did, and I did, and other guys did, was get between the lines and focus on playing the game, and that's what they did. They just went out out there and got it done.
Now the starting group for Orlando. Oladipo and Harris are the wings. Gordon and Vucevic together in the post. And it's Payton in at point.
You know, guys, it's really amazing just how quickly Anthony blossomed into stardom. You know, by age 21, he was arguably the best player in the game. At age 17, he only had one scholarship offer for college, and that was from Cleveland State to play point guard.
Here's Evans. Tobias Harris picking up that last basket. That's good.
I tell you what, guys, it's going to be a tough day on this defense if he's got the A game rolling tonight.
Right there.
Payton against Evans. And it's Gordon with the finish.
How about the excitement right now that he's playing the game with? I love it.
He capped that dunk off with some serious hang time on the rim.
I tell you what, he just couldn't contain himself on that one.
And that last replay courtesy of Kia. Here's G following the bucket by Orlando. And it's New Orleans scoring again. And in the first, a little over a minute and a half in. Payton drives in, feeds it to Gordon. That's good. Gordon's got his second basket of the game.
Well, Merry Christmas. I mean, that was a freebie.
A shot by Holiday. Nobody around. Yes, and a nice assist from Evans.
4 straight makes out of the gate. That's a sweet start.
Vucevic a screen on Evans. Payton kicks to Vucevic. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot two.
And as good as Vucevic is on offense, guys, he's doing everything he can to catch up on his defense. Huge size and wingspan works to his advantage, although the subpar athleticism hinders him a bit. But, for example, he's averaged less than 1 block per game for his career, mostly because even though he's a 7-footer, he plays well below the rim.
Now here's Evans. His last outing, he had 18 points, and he gets the bucket.
Impressive start here. That's 5 straight makes to start the game.
Here in the first, just under 2.5 minutes played so far. Harris outside. He dishes it to Oladipo. 5 to shoot. Let's go. Once again off the mark, Orlando. And to Vucevic's point, big problem throughout his career has been getting into foul trouble.
Yeah, it's tough. He's aggressive and sometimes out of position. Coaches are asking him to be aggressive, but he has to learn how to do that without fouling. That's the next step in his progression. And some of it is anticipation, so you're not in position to foul.
And really, I thought Anthony Davis a season ago just took the league by storm. I mean, jaw-dropping numbers. I think you could argue if the Pelicans' record had been a little better, he probably would have won the league MVP.
Now here's Payton. Out to the wing. The wide-open look here for Vucevic. That's in, coming off an assist from Payton. Payton's got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight. Evans kicks to Davis. There's the triple. And another 3 for New Orleans. And you look at the development of Anthony Davis last season, far and away the best player, efficiency rating-wise, in the NBA.
Yeah, that's called PER, player efficiency rating, one of the 4 best marks in NBA history for Davis, alongside Chamberlain, Jordan, and LeBron James.
Guys, what do you think about the offensive approach so far that we've seen for the Pelicans?
They've definitely had a hot hand from 3-point range. Always nice to get off to a good start.
The other thing they've had going for them tonight is their passing. I mean, doing a nice job. Plenty of their points early on coming off assists.
And Victor Oladipo, after a solid rookie campaign, really took it up a notch last season, even after missing Clark the first 9 games with that facial fracture.
I love this kid's gravitas. I mean, he's got a presence about him. His percentages improved across the board, field goal, 3-point, free throws. And I like his work ethic and his confidence. Boy, such outstanding patience and decision-making for them offensively.
Absolutely. Their ball movement has been outstanding, and they're piling up the assists.
Here's Azania. Turned in an outstanding game against Chicago. And he gets it to go.
And talking about Victor Oladipo's improvement, a lot of it has to do with his work ethic. Also his pregame film studies, something his college coach absolutely raved about. And all of that showed up for him big time last season. Excellent pass there to cap that break with an uncontested basket.
The dish now to Washington. And here's the fast break. Watson leading the way. Soft touch off the glass. Watson's got 6 points.
They're getting on a roll inside. Their last 3 field goals have come from inside the paint area.
There's got to be a wall of defense when it comes to attacking the paint. Plain and simple.
Now here's Gordon. 11 points for him in that last game against Golden State.
And also give him credit for his ability to pass the basketball. He was always looking for the open man.
Here are the Magic now after Eric Gordon's miss. A wide open look here for Oladipo. And it's all evened up. 5 points in the game.
And you know, back to Oladipo. We always talk about 5-star phenoms coming out of high school. He was just a 3-star guy. He's had to work for everything he's gotten, and I think that served him well. He's got a hunger and drive that you can't manufacture.
It looks like he took that last 3 a little personal.
Oh, there's no doubt about it, Greg. You saw it in his eyes. I mean, that was a payback shot right there. I don't think there's any doubt.
Here's Cole. He kicks it to Washington. The 3. And another 3 for New Orleans.
They're getting a bunch of their points outside of the paint. 3 of their last 5 buckets are from three-point range.
The defense is just not closing out quick enough.
Oladipo goes in. Good on the shot. Oladipo's got 7 points.
It's like everybody is in a rhythm right now. Incredible stuff here early on.
Both teams playing downhill. You know, coaches say that all the time. You want to play downhill. Well, at some point, you think somebody's got to cool off in this one, right?
Shot is no good.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Pelicans dance team.
And now the second quarter just getting set to start. What stands out to you from the Pelicans in this one?
The roof is up right now, guys. It's raining in here. A lot of threes through the first.
Hey, sometimes when it rains, it pours, and they have not let up from beyond the arc.
This is how the floor looks for the Magic starting the second. Inside, it's Fry and Vucevic. At the 2 and the 3, it's Fournier and Harris. And it's Payton in at the 1.
They're consistently finding ways to get the ball inside and taking full advantage.
Pretty clear. It's smash mouth basketball. Pound that thing inside.
Here's Cole. In the corner, it's Gordon. A 3-ball. It's good for his second make. He's made 2 of 3 so far.
And for the Pelicans last year, they were at their best when they had great ball movement. Very tough to guard their team when the offense was so active.
Orlando with the ball, trailing here by 8. And Fry kicks to Vucevic. There's the bucket. Good. Vucevic has got 4 points in the quarter.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
And on the flip side, Greg, the defenders have to show more fight on the interior. They got to offer more resistance here.
A nice shot by Anderson. Well, on the Pelicans, guys, they were 25-4. This is a good point, Greg. When they had 24 assists in games or more. Big average on assists last year. It was 22 a game, Clark. So they were above that, and they played well when they were throwing it around.
Exactly, and they were right around the league average on the year. That record of 25-4 shows you just how dominant they could be when they were moving the ball and finding teammates.
And Cole kicks to Ashik. And stolen by Harris. Second quarter of play with around 2 minutes gone so far. 11 feet away, and he gets the friendly spin, and that one drops. Harris has got his second bucket of the night. Pelicans leading by 5. Here's Cole. He's got 6, and another 3 for New Orleans.
How about the last 5 made shots have all been threes? The defense is just giving up a barrage.
Most teams get the message to cover shooters after 1 or 2 wide open looks at the three-point shot, but it seems like they have just not figured it out.
The Pelicans have gone a nice 3 of 3 to start the second. In the corner, it's Gordon. New Orleans moving the ball around. And another three for New Orleans.
And you know what? He's got a new BFF. It's the triple.
And it has been his BFF today anyway. Most of his points have been courtesy of the deep ball. And you know, guys, Eric Gordon was an unbelievable three-point shooter last season. 45% from behind the arc. The first time he's been over 40% in his career.
A platoon swap here for New Orleans. And a switch here also for Orlando. Gordon's checked in. Taken away by Holiday. 3 minutes of action so far in the second quarter.
Clearly, they've been the hotter team here in the first half.
Well, they've been grit and grind, working for those high percentage shots, and quite honestly, it's paid off for them.
And now Doris Burke has an update from the sidelines.
Over that last break, Kevin, I got a chance to hear what Scott Skiles said to his team. He made it clear that their offense needed to run through Vucevic. Coach reminded them that he is supposed to be the key factor tonight, and he still wants to see that happen. Being in the position they're in, probably a smart move to go to the clipboard and switch things up while we're still in the first half. Kevin?
Thanks a lot, Doris. And that one's good.
And the rebound and the follow show you what he is all about. Gritty and determined. This is crazy. Every shot they're taking right now is finding the mark.
Literally every shot, partner. I mean, they just aren't missing.
Payton dishes to Gordon. Picked by Vucevic. Fournier. No good. And New Orleans will go the other way with it. And moving on after the tough loss they took at the hands of the Warriors.
You know, I don't like to use the word shock, but that was a shocking result for me. Nobody saw that one coming. To lose to that team was surprising enough, but to get blown out like that?
I know. I mean, I'm with you there. It just seemed as though they were sleepwalking their way through that entire game. It was, in my estimation, just inexcusable.
Perfect screen there. Set him up with a terrific look.
Yeah, I like the fact that the setup was good, the screen was solid, but you also have to look at the fact the defender didn't do his job as well as he could have.
And the Magic struggled last season, still waiting on one of their young stars to just take that next step.
Just 5 on the clock. G passes to Evans. And it's New Orleans scoring again.
You know, one aspect of their play today that's really been tight and far superior is their passing.
And that kind of flow can be elusive, but the great offenses have it, and that's just what they've shown here tonight.
Well, there you go. One team operating on all cylinders at either end, steals, fast break buckets, and the other team scrambling to find its game.
Great point. I mean, that aggression has allowed them to just create a lot of havoc, and boy, are they taking advantage.
Harris misses. At the end of the year, the Magic saw leaps from Oladipo and from Elfrid Payton.
Yeah, I like those two young guys, Kevin, but it's hard to compete in the NBA without a top 20 scorer.
About 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Payton drives in. He kicks to Gordon. Harris outside. And the foul called on G. That is his first foul of the game.
That's his first personal foul. Substitution on the court.
Oladipo outside. Tries to snap the cold streak. No good at the rim.
And, you know, you can feel the desperation right now. They're starting to lose their composure offensively.
Yeah, it's palpable, Greg. I mean, clearly you can see the frustration. And it's understandable. I mean, right now they're on the wrong side of a big run.
And through one half, it hasn't even been close. Pelicans on top, running away with it. And we'll be back right after halftime to get...
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
And what an amazing performance, the hometown fans. It was a big-time first quarter from Anthony Davis. He had 12 points and 2 rebounds. Kenny, your thoughts, how the Pelicans are playing?
What a brilliant, unselfish half of basketball they just played. Their ball movement was absolutely impeccable. All in all, just...
And that'll wrap up our halftime show, the third quarter.
back to the action now. It's been a one-team show so far. We'll see if that changes here in the third. You look at Anthony Davis in this game, he's been everywhere.
Yeah, you just love it when the decision-making is as good as it was there in that first half. Didn't force anything.
Guys, I think here in the second half, though, they may want him to be a little more assertive. Start hunting more for his shot, even the tough one.
Alexis Ajinça is out there with Davis. Then it's Holiday. Then there's Tyreek Evans. And it's G in at the 3. So that's the group out there for New Orleans. And it's slammed in by Davis.
And as they continue to just dominate this game, you have to wonder how much can they win by.
Well, it's on the verge of getting out of hand, Greg. You can feel it. You can see it. In part because the defense has been about as good as the offense, and both have been really good.
I mean, he makes plays like that in his sleep. The game is just far too easy.
And for Victor Oladipo, guys, last season you saw him continue to make strides in his game. He has the build to be one of the best guards in the league, and he's on the right track right now. Very excited for his future.
Here's G, and again, New Orleans with the triple.
3 for 3, and that's always a good way to start the second half.
Time called here. The Magic decide to talk it over. As you said about Oladipo, he has a bright future in this league after playing at Indiana, already stepping into the leader role with the Orlando Magic.
Yeah, and what I like most about his game and the way he plays is that he contributes really in every facet. I'll use a baseball term. He's a 5-2. I mean, he really does a little bit of everything well, and he can make a big impact even when his shot isn't falling, be it on the glass, with his passing, or his defense.
Let's find out what Doris Burke has for us.
Yes, exactly, Kevin. I got a chance to hear what Scott Skiles said to his team. He made it clear that their offense needed to run through Vucevic. Coach is calling on him to play a big role in the offense for the rest of this game, to really be one of the key guys for them down the stretch. He also told them that he wants to see multiple passes on every possession. He said that was the key to getting the best shot each time down. Coach was not wasting any time in altering their strategy here in the second half. And Kevin, he's going to have to hope those changes take effect quickly.
All right, Doris. 5 on the clock. And that one's good.
That would be 4 in a row for him now as they have come racing out of the gate to start this second half.
Well, Orlando's shooting percentage, 59%. The offense is running smoothly. Right side, Gordon. Back to Harris. And Davis sends it back. Out of bounds as Orlando keeps possession. Jason Smith, he's checked in for Orlando.
Jason Smith.
Clock at 6. Oladipo right side. That's good. And it's Payton with the assist. Payton's got his 7th assist of the game with that last one.
Guys, they've had a solid start to the second half offensively. Gotten good looks, and they've made 3 out of 4 of them.
One problem the Magic faced last season was depth. They really weren't a deep team, and it hurt them along the way.
Yeah, it sure did. I mean, they had the second fewest bench points in the league, and that number was really low because they didn't use the bench that often. Starters did a lot of the heavy lifting.
I mean, I like the call. I thought the defense was just there a little late.
Yeah, it looked like it. I mean, he kind of slid underneath as he got to the spot, too.
And the Magic making a change here. Fournier is checked in. Just over 2.5 minutes gone by here in the second half. Screen by Asik. Here's Davis, and there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. That one on Vucevic.
And for the Magic, they would try and address the bench for this season, both through the draft and free agency.
And guys, the Magic didn't luck out and jump into the top 3 in the draft. Still ended up with a high pick, and that'll help add another nice piece to their puzzle. They've accumulated a lot of good pieces, but now they need to start making it work.
There's the pass to Fournier. Down low, Smith kicks to Oladipo. Screen by Smith. Payton dishes to Oladipo. Good ball movement here by the Magic. 4 on the shot clock. And again, it's Orlando with the 3. The Pelicans have gone 4 for 4 from the field since the halftime break. Terrific start to the third quarter. Here's Cunningham. It's good. The assist that time from Holiday. Cunningham's got his first bucket of the night. Orlando's gone 3 of 7 tonight from three-point territory. Screen by Smith. The kick out to Oladipo. From outside, off the mark. The Pelicans have gotten every shot that dropped since halftime. They're 5 for 5 from the floor. Davis against Smith. Shoots from 12. Connects. The jumper drops. 20 points for Anthony Davis.
Well, I tell you what, when you get this kind of effort and efficiency from him, they're a really hard team to beat.
Guys, you want to talk about one tough guy? How about the Turkish hammer, Ashik? Tremendous rebounder. A space eater in the paint, so long.
That's a great way to describe him, Kevin. Last year, he finished 4th in the league in rebounds per minute. Plus, he's always lurking as a shot blocker.
He is. Now a timeout called by Orlando.
And, you know, going back to Ashik, I mean, he's not just a big, immobile guy. I mean, he's got really good flexibility, and that's helped him develop some post moves at the offensive end. He's no longer Mr. Dunk or nothing.
And the Pelicans making a change here. Cole's checked in. Hezonja, he's checked in for the Magic. Watson comes in for Elfrid Payton. Orlando's gone 2 of 3 when they ventured outside the arc in the third quarter.
And going back to Amir Ashik's toughness, you can see it in his face. I mean, he's not going to smile at you. He's not going to show you any expression at all. Just a cold-blooded monster on the floor.
4 on the shot clock. Here's Hezonja. And you know that's going to be goaltending, guys, so that's a free basket right there.
He thought he had that one clean, but the ref saw it differently. They'll count the basket.
That'll be a 5-second call.
Taking a look at some stats for Oladipo. Last year, getting it done. He averaged 18 points a game, 4 assists and 4 rebounds. And he brings that offensive firepower to the team. Scoring just comes natural.
And, you know, defenses are throwing everything at him, Sid, yet he's still able to put up points. He's really unstoppable.
Holiday with the 3. Here's Davis. Somehow ignores the tight D and gets the layup. Davis has got 10 points here in the second half. For Orlando, they've gone 6 of 8 on field goal attempts in the third. A 75% clip. Pass to Hezonja. He feeds it to Vucevic, and the shot is good. Vucevic has got 11.
And Scott Skiles has been around the league as a coach for a while now, coming home to where he played most of his career here in Orlando. And at times, he can be a demanding coach.
There's 57 seconds left to play in the third. Pass to Hezonja. Vucevic up top. And Oladipo, here we go. It's rebounded by New Orleans. This, of course, their first opportunity to play Orlando this season.
And just couldn't make the most of their meetings last year. Ended up splitting the season series.
Yeah, you know, most teams have games where they wish they could get a mulligan or take it back. Well, last year, their one loss in this series was one I know they wanted back. They're not as aggressive from the outside here, but maybe they should think about stretching the defense a little bit, like they did in the first half. I mean, stretching the defense makes it easier to score inside, too.
23 seconds left in the third. Now, here's Watson. He's tightly guarded. Dishes to Vucevic. Can't hit from in close.
And you can see the defenders afraid to kind of get in his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the basket. But on that one, they were there.
And at the end of the third quarter, a huge lead in this one may already have been decided. The Pelicans on top, just dominating this one. And when we return, we'll get the fourth quarter rolling right here on 2K Sports. And we welcome you back as we get going here in the fourth quarter. The final quarter of play can change everything. They're going to turn it over. They couldn't get it in bounds that time.
You know, it hasn't always been the case in the NBA, but parity is at a great spot right now. Every team can compete for a title or end up last in their conference, it seems. It's something the NBA wanted and ultimately now has achieved.
Now, here's Fry, defended by Anderson. Here's Fournier. The feed to Fry. Fires the three. Asik comes up with the rebound. And speaking of NBA parity, it's impossible to go from last to first in a single year, but it can happen in a 3-year span.
And that's all you really want from a fan's perspective, hope. To illustrate the parity, all 4 teams in the conference finals from last year were different from the year before.
The Magic shooting has been outstanding in this game at 58%. So on the floor for Orlando, Hezonja is out there with Channing Frye. Then it's Dwayne Dedmon. Then it's Evan Fournier. And it's Napier in at the 1 spot. Shots good by Dedmon. Dedmon's got the first basket as we get going in the fourth for Orlando. Unable to get the ball in bounds. They get called for the 5-second violation.
They're losing their concentration here, guys. Some sloppy play going on right now.
Yeah, 2 turnovers in a row, and that's always a recipe for disaster.
Alonzo G is checked in for Cole, and the Magic making a change here as well. Gordon's checked in, and it's Napier missing.
And this is why you need good defenders on the interior to contest shots.
Yeah, Greg, making every shot a hard one, even the shots in close.
That's a quick bucket there. Solid in transition.
Well, you know, he loves the chance to get out and run, and we could see right there why he does.
Right side, Gordon, from 11 feet away. Another one falls for New Orleans.
Wow, risky shot there size-wise, but the incredible skill that he possesses allows that one to go.
Well, the quick high release negated any height disadvantage he had right there.
Napier. Here's Fry, and that one is good with the extra effort on the glass.
Yeah, how about the purpose with which he's crashing the backboards right now? Some hard-earned second chance for him.
Outside Gordon. We're about 2 minutes into the fourth quarter in this one. Anderson passes to Gordon. 6 to shoot. Solid shot from the distance of about 14 feet. Gordon's got 6 in the quarter.
Boy, they are passing the ball very crisply right now.
They really are, and their last 3 buckets have come by way of an assist.
They grab their own miss. Dedmon kicks to Napier. And the foul called on G. That's foul number 2 for him.
Yeah, clearly he had an established position there.
Yeah, and I like this call because you want the refs in that situation. If there's any doubt, err on the side of giving the benefit of the doubt to the offensive player. That should have been a block, and it was.
That's good by Dedmon.
Their interior has been inferior defensively. It has got to tighten up.
You're right on target there, Greg. Of the last 10 points they've allowed, 8 have come from in close.
Out left to the wing. Here's G. Passes it to Asik. It's stolen. Here's Napier, defended by Gordon. Fry dishes to Napier. Here's Fournier. Good. And it's Napier with the assist that time.
There you go again. A nice kick out after the D had collapsed on it.
That'll be a 5-second call.
Just a sloppy quarter of basketball. Turnovers now becoming an issue.
Like missing breakfast, bruh. Eventually it's going to cost you.
Tyreek Evans is checked in for the Pelicans. To the left wing. And Fournier kicks to Fry. Outside Gordon. Feeds it to Fournier. From past the arc. And Channing Frye gets the whistle that time. That is his first foul of the game. They're going to turn it over. They couldn't get it in bounds that time.
Yeah, the NBA Development League now celebrating its 15th anniversary and a lot of change over that time. None of the original 8 teams still playing in their original locations. Still, it's only growing. I think we'll see it grow to 30 teams before long.
And yes, sir, that one drops. Unable to get the ball in bounds. They get called for the 5-second violation. Dante Cunningham's checked in for Eric Gordon. Smith checked in for the Magic. Fourth quarter of play, and over 3.5 minutes have gone by. Wide open. Babbitt grabs the board.
He's been anything but his usual self this quarter. It's actually been ugly to see.
Lets the 3 fly. That's good.
Yeah, that's not the way for a team to get back into a game, giving up open shots like that.
Here's Napier, covered by Evans. In the corner, it's Gordon. Orlando moving the ball around. Napier kicks to Gordon. 6 on the shot clock. And, yep, finally drops after rolling around the rim. 1:39 left to play here in the fourth. And there's the foul. Will go on Shabazz Napier. That's his first foul. You can see the leadership qualities on display right there, guys.
You know, he's their coach on the floor. There's no doubt about that. A great communicator, a great teammate, and as you mentioned, Kevin, a tremendous leader.
Eric Gordon, he's checked in for New Orleans. Norris Cole comes in for Tyreek Evans. Kicks to Cole. He dishes it to Cunningham.
And one team is just completely outclassing the other tonight. Spirited performance, and it really ignited what is turning out to be a monster win here for the Pelicans.
Clark, the differential in assists led to a lot of open looks, and it also helped to get more guys involved in the offense easy.
They made the defense adjust by moving the ball like that, and there was no answer for it.
And every win important, and this one will go down as win number 3.
And so they win their first game against this squad. It's a 2-game season series, and they'll be going for the sweep the next time they face off.
Yeah, and Greg, when it is just a 2-game season series, the team winning game 1 has that slight mental edge going into the second meeting, knowing they've already solved their opponent one time and only have to do it one more time.
And beyond the actual result of this game, fans are going to look back and see this was just a monstrous performance for Davis. It was the kind of game for him that all scorers dream of, where the basket seemed as wide as a barrel.
Assistant, Shabazz Napier.
They're making this a runaway.
And the only question for me right now is just how big the lead will eventually become. I don't want to say they're trying to run up the score here, but they do keep adding to the lead.
Well, I know you don't want to say it, but I will, partner. I mean, they're trying to run the score up here. It's plain and simple. They're trying to throw salt all in that wound.
And stolen by Gordon. Here's Cole. Shoots. Count it.
The fans are just loving what's going on here tonight. A really good win for the home team.
It sure is. I mean, they kept this crowd in the game, gave them plenty to cheer about, and really used that home court advantage to their advantage.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Ernie Johnson here again with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny Smith. Without further ado, let's present to you our Jordan player of the game, Anthony Davis. Starting the second half, he came out with a nice stretch, hitting 4 in a row to help fuel their third quarter. Let's go to Shaq. What can you say about his performance?
Well, his ability to get into the paint, get to the rim was deadly. For a guy who's mainly a perimeter shooter, it was remarkable how many of his points came right at the bucket.
He was dead on from the field tonight, guys. I'd call his performance economical because there was no wasted opportunities. He took advantage of every good look he got. I mean, everything he put up was going in.
And that'll do it for this edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. Hope you enjoyed the show. From myself, Kenny Smith, Shaquille O'Neal, Kevin Harlan, and the entire 2K Sports crew, have a wonderful evening.